The Great Galactic Council stretched across the stars, a shining station where thousands of alien races met to discuss peace, trade, and war. Inside the main hall, banners of every world hung proudly, glowing with light and color. But one place was always dark. A single seat stood at the far end of the circle, covered in dust and silence. The silver plate beneath it read only one word: Earth. No one sat there for more than 200 years, aliens whispered when they passed it. Some said the humans destroyed themselves in a great war. Others said they left the galaxy and never returned. To most, they were only a legend now, a story told to frighten soldiers or inspire explorers. Yet the truth was never forgotten completely. One being still searched for answers: Serac, a historian from the planet Thalros. He had studied every record about the lost world of Earth. His colleagues told him it was a waste of time, that humans were gone forever. But Serac could not let it go. There was something strange about their disappearance. It felt unfinished. That day, while the council discussed border disputes, Serac's datapad beeped softly. A new discovery. He almost dropped it when he read the signal header. Source unknown. Frequency, Terran military band. Age, 215 years. He opened the file. Static filled the chamber, followed by a human voice, strong, calm, and full of quiet pride. "We don't need an invitation to survive." The entire hall fell silent. The sound echoed against the metal walls. Some aliens turned their heads in confusion. Others froze in fear. It was a voice they had not heard for generations, a human voice. The high speaker, a tall being of light and smoke, frowned. "Where did you get this, Thalrosi?" Serac bowed his head. "From an old relay near the outer rim, Your Grace. It was hidden under a collapsed moon station. The encryption is Terran. Old Terran command. Whispers spread like wildfire. Impossible. Humans are extinct. No ship uses that code anymore. But deep down, none of them truly believed that. The galaxy had always feared Earth. Humans were not the strongest or fastest species, but they were dangerous because they adapted. Every war they fought, they came back smarter, harder, and angrier." Serac looked up. "If this transmission survived, maybe others did too." The speaker shook his head. "Even if humans are alive, they are no threat. They refused our alliance. They chose isolation. Let the dead remain dead." Serac disagreed. "History doesn't stay buried forever." 2 days later, the council received a distress call from a frontier world near the rim, Rathos Station. The message was short and broken. "Unknown fleet. Attacking. Not pirates. Markings show, then static. No one could trace the rest." Within hours, the council dispatched a patrol fleet to investigate. 10 ships from 5 different species. They expected to find raiders or smugglers. Instead, they found wreckage. Floating in the void were pieces of melted metal and twisted hulls. Weapons torn apart as if by impossible force. No survivors. Among the debris, a small probe blinked weakly, still transmitting. Serac was part of the recovery team that opened it. Inside was another human voice. "This is Captain Eli Ward, Terran Expeditionary Command. The council left us behind. We didn't forget. We didn't forgive." Every word hit Serac like thunder. The file ended, but the message was clear. Humanity was alive, and they were no longer hiding. Back at the council hall, panic spread fast. Some demanded immediate defense measures. Others wanted to send peace envoys. But the speaker raised a trembling hand. "Find them first," he said. "If they truly live, we must learn what they want before they bring another war." Serac stared at the empty seat of Earth. "Maybe," he whispered, "they never wanted war. Maybe they just wanted respect." Days passed. The council sent more ships toward the outer rim. None returned. Reports flooded in. Colonies going silent. Trading lanes cut off, and strange lights seen in deep space. Fleets that approached vanished without a trace. Then one night, every communication network in the core suddenly went dark. Screens flickered across the galaxy, showing the same image, a blue and white planet surrounded by stars. Earth. A voice followed. "To the Council of Worlds, you ignored our cries. You left our people to die when the fires fell. We learned to survive without you. Now you will learn to listen." The message ended with an emblem, a silver Earth surrounded by 12 stars glowing like fire. In the hall, the high speaker turned pale. "They're declaring war." But Serac shook his head slowly. "No, they're declaring their return." Outside in the darkness between suns, massive ships moved silently, sleek, black, and covered in strange armor. Their engines burned with white light instead of plasma. The humans had built something new, something no alien could understand. And this time, they didn't come asking for acceptance. They came to remind the galaxy that Earth's seat was never truly empty. It was just waiting for the right moment to be filled. Again, the galaxy did not sleep after the message from Earth. Every major world went on alert. Fleets were recalled, shields were raised, and fear spread faster than light. But no one really knew what they were preparing for. The transmission from Captain Eli Ward played again and again across council screens. Some said it was a hoax, an echo from the past. Others said the humans had returned from some hidden colony, ready to claim revenge. Serac, the Thalrosi historian, sat alone in his study, watching the transmission once more. The voice of the human captain was calm, confident. But there was something else, sadness. We didn't forget. We didn't forgive. He could not stop thinking about those words. What had the council done? Why had humanity been left behind? Serac's mind raced through old archives, secret reports, old battles, half-buried political notes. He found mentions of a conflict called the Terran Exodus War. The council had promised aid to Earth during a solar disaster, but they never sent it. Billions died. The survivors had vanished into deep space, and now, after 2 centuries, they were back. 3 weeks after the message, a council scout ship named Vera's Light was sent to the rim to investigate a strange energy signal. Serac joined the mission as a historical advisor, the only one who had studied Terran records deeply. The ship's crew joked nervously as they entered the dark edge of the galaxy. Stars grew thinner. Space itself seemed colder. "Still think the humans are ghosts, historian?" the captain asked with a grin. Serac smiled weakly. "I think ghosts don't send radio messages." The joke faded as the sensors began to blink red. "Multiple contacts. Hundreds of them," the officer whispered. "No identification." No reply to hails. Outside the window, black shapes emerged. Massive, silent ships sliding out of the darkness. They had no running lights, no signals. Only faint blue lines glowing along their hulls. One of the crew gasped. "Are those Terran ships?" Serac's heart pounded. Yes, or what became of them? The captain tried to open communication. "Unidentified fleet, this is the council vessel Vera's Light. We come in peace. Identify yourself," no answer. Then the ships moved. Not attacking, not fleeing, just repositioning with perfect coordination. It was like watching shadows dance in formation. The largest vessel, nearly 10 times their size, came closer. It was black as space itself, shaped like a blade. "Scan it," the captain ordered. The sensors showed almost nothing. No energy signature, no heat. "No weapons active. It's like they're invisible," said the engineer. Then suddenly a voice came over the radio. Calm, cold, human. "This is Fleet Admiral Eli Ward of the Terran Vanguard." "You are trespassing." The captain froze. "Admiral Ward, this is impossible. You're over 200 years old." "Time is a tool," the voice said. "We learned how to use it." Everyone stared at each other. The meaning was unclear, but the tone was sharp. Final. "Leave now," Ward continued, "or you will witness what you were not meant to see." The council ship tried to respond, but before the captain could speak, all their systems shut down, lights, engines, even oxygen controls. Total darkness. Then in front of them, the Terran flagship activated its front panels. For the first time, the council crew saw it clearly. The old Earth flag, silver and white, surrounded by 12 bright stars. Serac felt chills run down his spine. The humans had built something powerful, something beyond the council's understanding. A few seconds later, their systems came back online. The human voice spoke one last time. "Go home. Tell them Earth remembers." And then the fleet vanished. Not jumped into hyperspace, not cloaked. Simply disappeared like mist under sunlight. When Vera's Light returned to the council, chaos erupted. Every race demanded answers. How can they have such technology? Where are their bases? Are they declaring war? No one knew, but Serac spoke up. "They warned us. That means they don't want destruction, and not yet. The High Speaker turned toward him. What do you suggest, historian? Sirach hesitated. Talk to them before someone fires the first shot. But not everyone agreed. Some species feared that waiting would show weakness. Others wanted to strike first, to destroy the humans before they could act. Soon fleets were mobilizing. The galaxy stood at the edge of panic, and far from the council, in the cold dark between stars, the Terran vanguard watched silently. Inside the command room of the flagship Saul's Wrath, Admiral Ward looked at the holographic image of the council worlds. His officers waited for orders. Do we attack? One asked quietly. Ward shook his head. No, let them come. Let them see what they turned away from. He walked to the window, staring at the endless stars. His VO. The galaxy had not seen peace since the humans returned. Every council world was preparing for the worst, building fleets, guarding borders, and spreading rumors. No one trusted anyone, and in the middle of that chaos, the name Earth echoed across every star system. The humans, once forgotten, were now the most feared and mysterious power in the galaxy. In the Great Council Hall, panic ruled every meeting. The alien leaders argued day and night. Some wanted peace, some wanted war, and most didn't even believe the humans were real. The High Speaker slammed his staff on the floor. Silence. The humans sent their message. Now we must decide how to answer. An alien general from the Cran Dominion hissed. Answer? They have already destroyed 3 of our patrol fleets. A soft voice interrupted. Destroyed. Or disabled. All eyes turned to Sirach, the Thalrosi historian. He stepped forward, his hands shaking but his voice steady. I studied the wreckage, Sirach said. Every ship was dead in space, no explosions, no deaths. They used power unlike anything we know. It shut everything down, but it did not kill. The room grew quiet. The High Speaker frowned. Are you saying they spared them? Yes, Sirach replied. If they wanted war, the Dominion worlds would already be dust. For a moment, even the generals could not argue. Then the hall trembled. Alarms blared. The Council's defense network detected something massive approaching the galactic core, the heart of the entire system. A fleet bigger than anything ever recorded. The sensors tried to count, but they failed. Thousands of ships forming a silent wall of black and silver. Each ship carried the same mark, the emblem of Earth. Sirach's breath caught. They're here. Across the stars, communication lines opened, and the humans spoke. A calm, deep voice filled every channel, every screen, every world. To the Council of Worlds, this is Fleet Admiral Eli Ward of the Terran Vanguard. 200 years ago, you turned your backs on us. When our world burned, your fleets watched. When our people begged for help, your council voted to stay silent. We learned to survive alone. We built our strength in the dark, and now, we have returned. The galaxy stopped. In every home, in every station, every being listened, unable to move. Ward's tone was calm, but it carried the weight of generations. We do not seek revenge. We do not seek war, but the age of silence is over. Humanity will no longer wait for permission to exist. The transmission ended. For a long time, there was only silence. Then, chaos. Some shouted to surrender. Others demanded to attack. But before the Council could even decide, the human fleet appeared in orbit over Varn Prime, one of the richest core worlds. Every defensive weapon locked on the humans. Every ship prepared to fire. And yet, the humans didn't shoot. Instead, a single shuttle left the flagship and entered the atmosphere. Down below, on the planet's surface, the people of Varn Prime looked up in fear as a silver craft cut through the clouds. It landed in the city's central plaza, surrounded by soldiers. The ramp opened. A man stepped out, tall, wearing a dark gray uniform with the emblem of Earth on his shoulder. His hair was white with age, but his eyes burned with calm fire. It was Admiral Eli Ward himself. The soldiers pointed their weapons. Ward raised one hand slowly. I am not your enemy, he said simply. I am your reminder. The alien commander growled, You dare enter our world without permission? Ward looked at him unshaken. You once denied us the same right and the right to survive. Now I ask only this. Listen before you repeat your mistake. Behind him, a hologram flickered to life, showing images of burned cities, ruined oceans, and the old Earth before it fell. We called for help, Ward said quietly. No one came. We buried our dead, rebuilt our ships, and found new stars. We didn't rise for power. We rose because we had no choice. The alien soldiers lowered their weapons, uncertain. There was no anger in his voice, only truth. Meanwhile, high above, the human fleet activated something unseen, a pulse that spread through space like a silent wave. Every ship in the Council's defensive ring powered down, completely disabled, but unharmed. In the Council Hall, alarms screamed, lights went dark, and leaders panicked. Their technology, it's overriding everything. A technician cried. Serac stood at the window watching as human ships surrounded the core. He whispered, "They could destroy us in seconds, but they don't." The high speaker turned to him, eyes wide. "Then what do they want?" Serac looked at the fading hologram of Admiral Ward on the main screen. "They want to be heard," he said softly. "After centuries, they're finally speaking, and now the galaxy has no choice but to listen." Down on Varn Prime, Admiral Ward finished his message. "The Terran Vanguard will not conquer your worlds," he said. "We will not burn your cities. But from this day forward, humanity takes its place. Not because you invited us, but because we earned it." He stepped back into his ship. "Tell your council this. Earth remembers." The shuttle rose into the sky, vanishing among the clouds. Every world that saw that broadcast would remember it forever, because that was the day the humans didn't come as beggars. They came as equals, and that was the day the galaxy realized that the empty seat in the Great Hall was no longer empty. Humanity had returned. The galaxy was silent. After the humans' return, no one dared to speak against them. Every species, every ruler, every army waited, unsure if Earth would strike or negotiate. But the humans didn't attack. They simply waited too. Their fleets hovered above the galactic core, unmoving, dark as space itself. It was not a war of weapons. It was a war of patience and fear. In the Great Council Hall, chaos turned to quiet despair. For weeks, the leaders had been trapped inside their own station. Every defense system shut down by the humans' invisible power. No one could leave. No one could fight. The galaxy's strongest fortress was now a cage. The high speaker stood before the council members, his glowing form flickering weakly. "We cannot live under their shadow forever," he said. "We must talk to them." A Cran Dominion general slammed his clawed hand on the table. "Talk? They humiliated us. They block every route to our colonies. They spared you." Serac interrupted softly. The general turned on him. "What?" "They could have destroyed your fleets, General," Serac said. "But they didn't. Maybe that means something." The hall fell silent again. Everyone looked at the historian, the only one who seemed to understand humanity at all. Serac took a deep breath. "If they wanted war, it would be over already. I think they want justice, not blood." Moments later, the station's lights flickered again. A deep hum filled the hall. Then a voice echoed through the chamber's speaker, calm, human, unmistakable. "This is Fleet Admiral Eli Ward of the Terran Vanguard. Council of Worlds, we accept your request for meeting. Transmission coordinates locked. Do not attempt interference." The message ended. The high speaker looked at Serac. "You will speak for us, historian. You know their kind better than any of us." Serac froze. "I'm just a scholar." "Now you're our only chance," the speaker said. An hour later, Serac stood in the docking bay as a human shuttle approached. It was simple and dark, almost silent. When it landed, the air itself seemed to grow heavier. The ramp opened. 3 humans stepped out, soldiers in sleek black armor, and behind them Admiral Ward. He looked older than in the recordings. Lines marked his face, and his eyes carried the weight of centuries. But his presence filled the room like gravity. Serac bowed slightly. "Admiral Ward, on behalf of the Galactic Council, I welcome you." Ward studied him for a moment, then nodded. "Let's hope this meeting is worth the time we've waited." They walked through the silent corridors toward the council hall. Every alien they passed stared, not with hatred, but with awe and fear. When Ward entered the chamber, the high speaker rose. "Admiral Ward," he said carefully, "the galaxy owes Earth an explanation, and perhaps an apology." Ward's voice was quiet but strong. "We didn't come for your apology. We came for your truth." He stepped to the center of the hall. A hologram appeared behind him. The burning image of Earth 2 centuries ago. Cities on fire, oceans boiling. People crying for help. Ward turned to the council. You watched. You listened. You voted not to interfere. You called it a local disaster not worth the risk. Our home burned while your fleets waited in orbit, afraid of losing ships. No one spoke. You left us to die, Ward continued. But we didn't. We adapted. We rebuilt. We created something stronger, and not out of hate but survival. We learned what unity truly means. He looked around the hall, his eyes locking on each alien leader. You speak of peace, yet your council is built on fear. You divide worlds, you ignore cries for help. You protect only your own. That ends now. The Cran General stood. Are you threatening us? Ward looked at him, calm as ever. No, I'm reminding you. The universe is large enough for all, son, but only if you act like it. The general sneered, but before he could reply, a screen behind Ward came alive, showing a live feed from deep space. Hundreds of Terran ships moved aside, revealing something enormous, a glowing ring structure orbiting a dead sun. This, Ward said, is the Terran Gateway, a bridge between galaxies, built by us, powered by us. It can move fleets across star systems in seconds.
And we will open it to the council, and if you change. Change?
The speaker asked. Stop your corruption, Ward said. End the vote of silence that lets worlds die while you debate. Help those who cannot defend themselves, or we'll do it for you. The room filled with whispering. The day after Earth reclaimed its seat in the Great Council, the galaxy began to change. Every race watched with disbelief as the human emblem, the blue sphere of Earth surrounded by 12 stars, glowed once again in the center of the council hall. For 200 years, the seat had been covered in dust. Now it burned with light, but peace did not come easily. Outside the council station, the Terran Vanguard fleet remained in orbit, thousands of black ships standing silent like a wall of shadow. Their presence alone kept entire empires from moving. Some called them protectors. Others whispered a different word, conquerors. The truth was somewhere in between. Inside the hall, debates began again, but this time, the humans were part of them. Admiral Eli Ward sat at the round table beside Serac, who had been chosen as the Council's representative of unity. The High Speaker addressed the gathering. From this day we rebuild under a new law, the Accord of Earth. No world shall be abandoned again. His words echoed through the chamber, but not everyone was pleased. The Cran Dominion's general, covered in metallic scales, slammed his claw against the table. You would let the humans rule us through fear? Look outside. Their fleet still points its guns at our skies. Ward turned his head calmly. They point at no one, General. But if your worlds ever need help again, they will be the first to respond. The general's eyes narrowed. Help or control? Ward met his gaze. That depends on what you choose to do with this piece. The room went silent. Even Serac could feel the tension rising like static. Later that night, Serac walked beside Ward through the council corridors. You've shaken the galaxy, Serac said quietly. Some admire you. Others fear you. Ward gave a small smile. Fear is the first step to respect. But respect is only the beginning. They stopped by a wide window overlooking the stars. The black Terran ships shimmered faintly, positioned between entire empires like silent guardians. Serac turned to him. Do you really plan to protect them all? Ward nodded. Yes, because no one protected us. His tone carried both pride and sadness. But far away, in the dark regions of the Rim, not everyone wanted peace. In a secret fortress, the Cran General gathered others who hated the New Order. Pirates, smugglers, and old warlords. They called themselves the Old Guard. The humans claim peace, the general snarled, slamming his fist on the table. But they chain us with it. They shut down our fleets with their invisible weapons. They decide who lives and who dies. A cloaked alien leaned forward. So what do we do? The general's eyes glowed red. We fight back, quietly. If they want to play gods, let's remind them what happens when mortals bite back. And in the darkness, plans were made. Plans that would test humanity's mercy. Weeks passed. Under the new accord, Earth's fleets began rebuilding shattered colonies and sending aid to forgotten worlds. Human engineers shared advanced technology, energy systems, medicine, and food replicators, things that had once been myths. For many, the humans became heroes. For others, they became a threat. In one broadcast across the galaxy, A small child from a desert world spoke on camera, her voice trembling. Humans came to our planet. They brought rain. They gave us light again. That message spread faster than any ship. It made billions believe that maybe, just maybe, the humans were not conquerors after all. But deep inside the Council systems, hidden programs began to awaken. Old defense networks, long shut down, now coming alive under secret control. Someone was planning something. In the Council hall, Admiral Ward addressed the assembly once more. Change always creates fear, he said. But peace cannot grow from silence. We must face it, even if it costs us everything. The High Speaker nodded. And if someone refuses to follow the accord? Ward's voice was calm but firm. Then they will face the consequences. At that moment, the chamber doors burst open. A guard ran in, panting, "Admiral!" A fleet, unidentified and approaching from the rim. "They're firing on Terran patrol ships." Everyone froze. Serac turned to Ward. "The old guard?" Ward's expression darkened. "So it begins." Minutes later, the stars around the Council burned with light. Explosions lit up the void as the rebel fleet, old warships, scavenged weapons, struck against the Terran patrol lines. But the humans didn't panic. Their ships moved like dancers, silent and precise. Ward's command ship, Saul's Wrath, opened a wide channel. To the old guard, "Stand down. You cannot win this fight." No answer. Only static and more missiles. Ward sighed. "Then we do what we must." The Terran fleet shifted formation. Their weapons charged, glowing white. In one synchronized motion, beams of pure light cut across space. Not to destroy, but to disarm. The rebels' ships went dark, powerless, drifting like ghosts. Within minutes, it was over. No one died. Serac watched the display from the Council balcony. He whispered, "You ended a war, without blood." Ward replied quietly, "We learned that from pain. The hardest wars are the ones you end without killing." After the battle, the galaxy finally saw what humanity truly was. Not monsters, not tyrants, but survivors who refused to become like their past enemies. And slowly, the fear began to fade. World by world, race by race, the Council accepted the new order. An order where Earth stood not above others, but beside them. That night, Serac stood alone in the Great Hall. He looked at the glowing human emblem and whispered to himself, "They never wanted to rule the stars, only to be part of them." From the balcony above, Admiral Ward watched quietly, his eyes reflecting the light of the Earth insignia. "The galaxy finally listens," he said softly. "Now let's see if it learns." And beyond the glass walls of the Council, the Terran fleet drifted among the stars, and silent, patient, powerful, guardians of a fragile new peace. It had been 3 months since the Battle of the Rim. The rebellion was over. But something deeper was stirring, not war, but change. Across the stars, stories of the humans spread like fire. They were the ones who never begged for a seat, yet earned the galaxy's respect through courage and mercy. The Great Council now stood united for the first time in centuries. And in the center of it all, the seat that had once been empty now glowed brighter than ever before. Earth's seat was filled again. The meeting, the Great Council assembled one last time that year. Thousands of alien delegates filled the hall. Some had fought beside humans. Others had once feared them. But today all came to witness history. Admiral Eli Ward stood at the center platform. His uniform was simple. No medals, no crown, just the Terran insignia over his chest. The High Speaker's voice echoed. "Admiral Ward, by order of the Council, Earth is officially reinstated as a founding world of the Accord. The seat that stood empty is now filled once more." Applause thundered through the chamber. Some wept. Others stood in silence. Ward looked up at the banners of every world and said quietly, "We thank you. But remember, humans did not return to lead. We returned to stand with you." His voice carried through the hall, calm but strong. "For 200 years you feared us. But fear was never our goal. Survival was. We never wanted power, only a place where our children could see the stars without being told they don't belong." The silence that followed was heavy and beautiful. Even the most hardened alien warlords bowed their heads, a whisper of shadows. But as peace settled, the galaxy's edge grew darker again. Ships had gone missing in deep space. Entire colonies stopped answering calls. At first, everyone thought it was a natural disaster. Then a distress signal arrived. A single repeating word. They're back. Ward and Serac listened in the command room. The signal's pattern was ancient, something not seen since the fall of Earth centuries ago. Serac frowned. Who could they be? Ward didn't answer immediately. His eyes were fixed on the waveform, his face pale. The machines, he whispered. The ones that destroyed our first home. The harvesters. A chill ran through the room. The galaxy had just found peace, and now a new enemy was waking. The choice. The council panicked. Many argued to hide, others wanted to flee. But Ward stood tall and calm. We've run from shadows before, he said. Not again. If they've returned, then humanity will stand first, and not alone this time. Serac turned to him, fear in his eyes. You mean to fight them again? Ward nodded slowly. If we fall, protecting more than Earth. We protect the galaxy that once turned its back on us. He pressed his hand to the console. Across the stars, the Terran fleet received the signal. Mobilize. The humans were ready once more. The return of fire days later, the sky over the frontier world Eris 4 burned. Dark metal clouds, the harvesters, descended like living storms, devouring everything. But this time, they were not alone in the fight. Human dreadnoughts dropped out of hyperspace, followed by alien cruisers flying the Council emblem. Virexi fighters, Kran battleships, and human destroyers fought side by side. Serac watched from the command bridge, awed by the sight. The galaxy fights as one, he whispered. Ward smiled faintly. That's all we ever wanted. The final stand, the battle raged for hours. The harvesters poured in endless waves, metallic monsters feeding on energy and life alike. But the Alliance held strong. Ward's flagship, Sol's Wrath, led the final charge straight into the heart of the harvester swarm. Target the central core, he ordered. We end this now. Explosions lit the void. Every race fired together, their weapons forming a blinding light. The harvester core cracked. And for the first time in centuries, the ancient enemy screamed, and Effie